Maybe I should be, I didn't even know. I don't know what I should be doing. Like, the great thing about life is we think we know what we're supposed to be doing, but it's like, do we know what we're supposed to be doing? I don't know. We're supposed to be nice. I mean, right? It's supposed to be, keyword supposed to be. All right, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna work on that big, the thing that's most complicated. Okay, so my brain wants to go to easy. Does your guys' brain want to go to easy all the time? Yeah. So my brain wants to go to easy too, but I'm gonna do the horn. What's that horn called? That thing? What kind of horn is that? Trumpet or no? It's not trumpet, but anybody know? Is it trombone? Okay. I don't think it's a trombone either. But anyway, I'm gonna sketch that out. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go medium. It's not a tuba either. Okay, I'm gonna mix that in. Okay, so I'm just gonna sketch this out. I'm gonna get a little burnt umber, and I got the drying medium. I'm mixing it in. So I dipped that in. Okay, so let's sketch this thing out. No, I don't want it there. I want it here because what I want to do is I want to I'm actually, oh, never mind. I don't have any water. It's cool. You don't need the water. Okay. Oh, it is. I do have water. It's right in front of me. Jeez, thanks. Thanks for correcting me in front of everybody. Thanks for correcting me. Wow. Wow, making me embarrassed. I'm so sensitive. Okay, so there's that, and there's that, and this is coming this way, and that's coming that way, and that's going that way, like that. And then there's a bottle right here. And that bottle, here's the top of that, right? So then the bottle's a little bit higher. And then there's a thing right here. This is the case. And then there's another bottle that goes all the way up here off screen. Getting some more stuff, getting some little ultramarine blue in there, and that brown. And I got drying medium in there. I dipped it in already. And look how I'm holding my brush. And this is cool too. You know why this is good here? Look at my position. Look at me, please. Look. Look at the distance. See the distance, how far I am away from my piece? I'm not all up close like this. It's not in my face. I can see, I can make decisions. I can go, oh, I can check my work more accurately because it's not in my face. I kind of have it away from me a little bit. And this is how I'm holding my brush like this. I'm not holding like a pencil. I'm staying loose. Now, okay, this goes like this. Now that's the buttons. I don't know what those are called. The little buttons. The little tube things. But see, I don't draw them in all specific. I'm just putting in like, when we're painting, I just put in the general location. Because as you guys get going here, as we get going, we're gonna be this goes across like that. As we get going, we're going to we're thinking of this as shapes of color. Okay, once again, we're thinking of this as shapes of color. Shapes of color and values. Yes, sir.
Are we supposed to take a picture of this and put it to canvas before we leave?
No, this isn't due today.
Then why is there this time saying still life color due today?
Oh, just a sketch was due, I think, right? Just the drawings due. This isn't due today. And this is not due Friday.
we're supposed to take a picture.
Yeah, just take a picture and submit it. Yeah, wherever you're at by the end of this period, just take a picture. It's not due today.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
I was asking.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. I appreciate that, but it's not due today. It's not due Friday either, everybody. Listen up, listen carefully, listen. This is not due today. This is not due Friday. This is due next week. I want you to take your time. I want you to do quality work. Quality work. Slower is better right now. When you're beginning, slower is better because you're able to do quality work. And as time goes on, the speed will come. The speed comes. But right now you need to be observing and taking your time and really like thinking about the proper color, the proper value, the proper shape. Okay. So I'm able to do this a little bit quicker because I have more training. I've trained my eye. So that's the way that the game works, you know, and this is a game. I mean, it's all a game. I mean, it could be. It's weird. It's like, it's a game. It's playful, but it's kind of like not a game.
Life's a game.
Yeah, life is a game, but it's a serious game.
This is a mini game.
But it could be serious or it could be playful, right? Even if things are serious, it's kind of like, you know, like it's real, man. It's real. We're experiencing this. This isn't like it's weird because it's a game, but it's not, or it could be playful, but
yeah, and life feels very surreal at a time.
Yeah, it's like here we are in this. It's cool though. I love it. It's good.
Where your ruler is located. Oh.
Okay, I'm putting that violin. Now look what I do for the violin. I just do that, boom, little shape like that. And then over here, we're gonna do a bottle. And then over here, we do this jug.
Oh my God, it's a jug.
And I'm making measurements. I'm making visual measurements along the way. I'm checking my distances. Isn't that fun? Look at that. Isn't that just a cool, okay, I'm done. No,
No, you're not.
I'm done.
Don't lie.
And I'm done.
Mr. Howard's doing what he says not for us to do.
Which is what?
Say that we're done when we're not.
Did I do that?
Give up early.
No.
Are you
Yeah.
giving up?
Heck no. All right, so now check it out. This is important, guys. Look, here's my color, right? Pay attention to this. Look up here. This is a highlight. You got your rag. You want to change your color and or your value. Now you could have 3 brushes. I could have a brush here. Can I borrow your brush? And I could have a brush here. Can I borrow your brush? So check this out. So you could have 3 brushes. Look, be Wolverine, but I'm not joking. Look, this brush could be your light values, cool, and it can shift to cool and warm. Pay attention to this. This brush could be your medium values, shifting to cool to warm. And this brush could be your dark values. So you only use this for your darks. You only use that for your mediums. You guys are talking, shh. You only use this for your lights. So you can use 3 brushes or more. I used to have 6 when I would do painting in
All at the
college.
same time?
Yeah, I'd have 6 brushes in my fingers. So 2 would be my light values, cool and warm. 2 would be my medium values, cool and warm, and 2 would be my dark values, cool and warm. So, and I just have them like mix. So, and this is what my palette's looking like right now. So I kind of have my medium values over here, and I have my darker values are starting to group over here. And then interspersed, there's very, very few light values. You know, if you squint your eyes and look at that still life, it's mostly dark values and medium values. There's very, very little light values. Okay, there's not a lot. There's very, very few. Okay, so here's your brush back. Thank you. And here's your brush back. Okay, so lots of mediums, but to switch, like, check it out. Once again, you take your rag, you want to switch your value or your color look, squeeze and pull. Okay, and then there's the residual there. There's a little bit of that color still in the brush, okay, which will help unify the piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting this. I don't know what it is, this musical instrument. And it is a green color. So gold is basically green. We don't just go, oh, it's yellow. right? Gold is yellow. No, it's lots of greens. And it's cool and warm green. So I'm gonna guess here. I'm gonna go yellow ochre. First, I'm gonna do this. Watch. Take my medium, and I'm gonna scoop. And I'm just gonna go like that and wait for it to stop dripping. And then I'm gonna go into this color that I had from yesterday. And I think that, let's see if it'll mix. It's starting to mix. I'm gonna go a little bit of cad red, just a touch of cad red. And I think that might be the color. No, I need a little bit I'm gonna go cobalt, a little bit of cobalt blue, a little bit more cobalt blue to cool that down. And that'll be my, oh, yes. Yes. Okay, that's pretty close. That's pretty darn close. Okay. That's pretty darn close. Okay, now what I'm doing first right now is I'm painting the mediums in, but I should be painting the darks in, but I just wanted to see, like, I just want to be like, you know how you want to challenge yourself and just see. So this is my first go around. Getting some paint. Did you get the little scoop cutter?
Yeah.
Sweet. Nice. Hey, you're graduated.
I am graduated.
Shh. Hey, you're graduated. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Okay. I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to say this to you guys. Dark values. Okay, so dark values. I'm going to go to the dark values on that instrument and I'm going to go, what is it, warm or cool? I'm going to say it is cool. And then I'm going to go get some medium. I'm going to dip this in and I'm going to go to dark. So I'm going to go into this dark puddle right here. And I'm going to say that the dark values are generally, I'm going to go burnt umber. And I could go even darker if I need to, but I'm going to go burnt umber and I'm going to go ultramarine blue for this particular one. Like, if you don't know what the dark value is, just guess. Say, okay, just go, it's cool. So make your dark value a cool, or go, it's warm. So how would you make a dark value warm? I would probably start with burnt umber and go add a little cadmium red. And then, so it's not just burnt umber and cadmium red, I probably put a touch of phthalo green. Okay. So let's try this right here. And what I'm doing right now, and what we're doing is we're looking for dark shapes. We can always put the light stuff in later. So look for those dark shapes. That goes across. I'm gonna load up my brush. And if you need a steady hand, like what I'm doing is, look, I'm taking this and I'm taking my fist and I'm putting my other hand on my fist, and I'm gonna put this fist on the table. And then I can have control over where these things go. There's a cast shadow. Getting some more paint. Every time you make a stroke, you're putting some of that medium in. And you're look at, see, look, I made one stroke like that. Watch, just that little stroke. And then I look up at the still life. And then I realize, oh, that's phthalo green. I get a little phthalo green. I'm going to mix it into my dark. Okay, here, look. Mix it in my dark. Just like that. That phthalo green is really, really strong. And I go, is that the right color? I'm going to say, okay, I think so. And then I put that stroke down. Now watch this. We put that stroke down and I go, it needs to be more neutral. And then that's dark. That's dark. And so each stroke I'm looking up, then I look back down and look up and I make a stroke and look up at the still life. Make a stroke. You know what I mean? So you're, and then I realized like, okay, that I'm going to put a little bit of alizarin crimson into that phthalo green. But every darks are first, people, darks are first. But make a stroke, look up, make a stroke, look up. Then back there, Sabrina's legs are blue. So then I realized, okay, that's a blue. Our eyes are very powerful observational systems. Like they're the most sophisticated thing on earth. Like, I don't know, compared to like an eagle or something like that. Those are pretty awesome. But like somebody yesterday was, she took a picture of the still life with her phone and was working from her phone. Don't do that. Work only from observation for this, okay? So that's somebody's legs over there, and I just make it into a shape like this. Okay, you see that? So I'm putting the darks in now where things are starting to pop, okay? I'm kind of bouncing around here. I think what I should do is focus on this musical instrument really, so I can get to a point of quote finished. And I'm not purposely blending. I'm not purposely going, oh gosh, I gotta blend this. I'm just putting these lines down, these shapes down. And it will, the cool thing about oil paint is that it blends itself. Okay. It blends itself. I see an orange, there's just gray blue. That bottle's gray blue. There's a really thin dark line right here. I'm gonna load up my brush. That's wrapping around. There's a little dark shape and it doesn't really matter what it is, but it's a little button type thing that's sticking out. But to me, at the point, look, all it is to me, it's just gonna be a little dash. Like that. Put a little cad red in there. I think that will be right. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating the color, and your eyes will play tricks on you. You'll see one color, and then you'll see another color. You'll go, wait a second there. That isn't the right color or value. Okay. So I want to switch to a medium value. So what I'm going to do is this. Now check it out. Last time I squeezed really tightly. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm just going to, I'm gently going to drag the brush through the rag. So I didn't squeeze it really tight. So I still have some of that paint on there because I want that. I don't want to totally switch out. I haven't rinsed once. Okay, you don't need to rinse. Okay, you don't need to rinse. I'm gonna go yellow ochre and a little bit of cad yellow. Okay. And when I mix, I do this. Look, it's a little slow-mo for you guys. And then flip the brush over like that and sound effects for you. Now that trumpet's doing this, watch. If something's curved, then watch, my brush stroke curves as well. Okay, so that curves like that. This is coming outward. It's a curve, it's a cylindrical thing. Okay, does that make sense? We want to, so this is curved right here. So I'm gonna go like this and curve that. And this goes and flows to that. So you can do this. I can curve that, or check this out. You can go angle, 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 angle. All right, so here, okay, I'm starting to see some orange in there now. So this is a or warmer. So what I need to do with this is I already have cad yellow in there and I have yellow ochre, which these are both yellows. So I see some orange. I want to warm this up a bit. I'm going to go cad red, which will make it orange, and it's still kind of a green, but I'm seeing some orange in there. And I haven't done any white yet. Try to stay away from the white. I think I need a little bit more red. Try and stay away from the white as long as possible, because people, tend to jump into that. And we, where was that orange? It's like right here. That was orangish or warmer. Maybe right there is warmer. Maybe right there is warmer. And I'm saying maybe, like. Okay, and then I gotta go. Okay, that's a darker orange. So let's go cad red, alizarin crimson. No, that's not right. It's like a purple. Okay, I'm gonna go ultramarine blue. I think that's the color, right? For that rim up there. I am gonna go a touch of white on that. I'm gonna go a touch of white, just barely a touch of white to get that gray. Okay, now let's try that. I think that's it right there. You can go do it, do that. Now that also goes over here, I think. And is that this color too? So I'm testing it. Look, I put a little stroke right there, and that's just a test. And then where else is that? Is that anywhere else? Maybe right here. That blue, gray blue. So how do you make a bottle look like a bottle? You just paint the color. You paint the shapes. Okay, I need this. I need to go lighter. Okay, I'm gonna wipe out my brush. Once again, wiping out my brush in the rag. Get some yellow ochre, or just yellow in that. Could dip it in the medium. That's too intense. That's too yellow, but I'm just gonna leave it for now. Because I could put that right here. Okay, so what's the opposite of yellow, violet? So I'm gonna put a little ultramarine blue in there because that has a little red in it. I'm gonna put a little bit of cad red. Okay, let's try that. Now I'm seeing these browns. So if you see a brown, it's like what temperature is the brown? What temperature is the brown? Is it a cool brown or a warm brown? Okay, in this case, it's a warm brown. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna mix that into that. I'm gonna guess that this is correct. Here, a little bit more red. And that's gonna go right here. And I've looked 3 times before I put this stroke down. Like I'm really making sure that is in the correct spot. And kind of in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm envisioning, okay, that's where I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm gonna place this. Like right here. Right there. And then right there. This is a complicated piece of machinery here. Okay. I think I want to take a break from that for a second, and I'm going to go to that bottle. So in that bottle is quote blue. So I'm going to wipe that, take it in my brush, wiping that, because I'm going to switch my color. So that's a quote blue, blue gray. So how do we get a blue gray? We go ultramarine blue or cobalt plus burnt umber. Get the medium. Okay, that's going to make your gray. Let's get a little bit of white here. Touch more white. That might be that. I think a little bit, maybe a little bit more cobalt. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to go put that down. I think this goes right there. That comes over, down. That might need to be lighter. Touch more white. Just literally a touch. That might be even too light. Okay. I think that right there goes, I see it right here. See this right here? Whoa, that's way too light. Okay. Yep, it's too light. Shoot. Well, maybe not over here. I think it's okay there. Yeah, go do it. And I think that's up here, this little shape. And that shape right there. But I think it's too dark, honestly. Okay, let's bring it down. When I say bring it down, that means like, okay, I'm gonna make some darker colors in that. So ultramarine, burnt umber again. I'm tempted to go phthalo green, just a touch of it, just to see what happens. But I think, this needs to be darker. See that? That needs to be darker. Couple of strokes, look up. Couple of strokes, look up. Place that accurately. Where it's supposed to go. I wish I had a zoom on that. Pretty cool. I like to zoom in on that, but it's cool. Then and when I'm looking at this, also what I'm seeing is there's this darker area right here. This comes over more. There's a couple little dots of highlight, but they're not too light. Now, the glass is see-through, so you're going to see another color behind it. In this case, it is the slightly blue glass fusing with the case, the violin case. So the color and shape of that, of the two items, are fusing together. So, and that's a slightly warmer, lighter color. Yeah. And it's warmer. So if I want to make it warm, I'm going to do a little bit warmer thing over here, and it needs to be lighter to warm it up. I'll just go cad red to warm this up. I'm going to go a little cad red. I think that's going to be right. And a little bit of white to warm that up. And I'm hoping that's the right color. Okay. So let me go like this. I mean, that's close. That's close. Maybe a little bit warmer. Now I want to talk about the light. Okay. So the light that we're using, if you choose to, if you want to glance at it really quick, blind yourself a little bit, right? But it is a white, yellow, orange light. And so that light, yellow, orange light is affecting the colors of the things that we're painting. Okay. So we want to make sure that pretty much overall we are thinking of the light source, because let's say you're outside painting. The daylight, the temperature, the daylight changes. Okay. The temperature, the daylight changes. And that glass, so now this needs to be slightly bluer. This color right here, I'm going to give a little bit medium. This needs to be slightly bluer. I'm going to grab some of that blue, put it in here, grab a little bit more, put it in here. How much time we got? How long? Oh, perfect. Okay. So look, when you look through glass, it distorts. It distorts. So the case here is being distorted. Let me go in a little bit closer. So this violin case is, as it goes through the glass, it's being distorted. So it's stretching up here and it's going down here. And all we're doing is painting shapes and lines, okay? Now, do you see this little dark line that I left right there? I probably could leave that dark line. So anyway, I will for now. And then there's a little like button, like round thing here. Now check this out. I can use the back of my brush and we can draw. That's not really making an effect, but now this area right here is darker. Right there, that area is darker. So let's get a darker blue. I just have to stay out here. I gotta stay out here so I can show you guys like the colors. Okay. All right. So that is well, it's actually warmer. No, it's bluer. Okay. I'm going to go ultramarine, alizarin crimson. And that's a pretty bright blue, violet. So I have a violet there that I want to neutralize. So I'm going to go a little yellow, cad yellow. So let's try that. I'm going to try that and see if that's the right color. No, that is not the right color. It needs to be bluer. I'm going to go ultramarine. Let's put that down. No. I'm gonna go burnt umber. And put that down. Well, close enough for now. And that shape goes down and across. And then there's a dark line here. All right, that comes over here. And that's kind of, looks kind of greener there. Right there. That shape right there. Needs to be redder. Needs to be redder. Alizarin crimson. Because that jug is alizarin crimson. It's a cool word to say. All right. So this, okay, there's a dark shape. That's darker. That's darker. Okay, this shape, this comes up like this. I need to get some blue on there. So I'm gonna wipe my brush in the rag and I'm gonna get some cobalt. Mix that in, touch of white. Wish I had two cameras. That'd be cool to have one on my palette and one up here. But we got a little sliver right here of dark. See, a little line of dark right there. And then it flares out like this. It's a little triangle. And then, yeah, I need some really, really dark darks right now, I think. All right. Okay. Dark darks. Okay. So I gotta go back. I'm wet my brush. I gotta go back to some really dark darks. So I'm gonna go burnt umber. And ultramarine. This needs to be even darker right here. And right there. Right there. Right there. And right there. And that area needs to be darker. Kind of avoiding this area, but that needs to be darker. This line, that, now watch this. We're not going to have any outlines, okay? No outlines. Now you can have some lines, but no outlines. You know what I'm saying? That needs to be, that's straight. That thing's like straight alizarin crimson. Dipping in medium, mixing it up. This jug back here, now watch. That jug is this. That jug is this right here. And here's the handle is right there. And if you guys want to come and see what I'm seeing, you're more than welcome to come over and see what I'm seeing. That's a dark shape. There's a dark shape. That's a dark shape. Dark shape. I want to finish that face in there. Okay. What if I just took this? Yeah. What if I took this and mixed it, dipped that in the medium with the yellow ochre. So let's try that. That's not dark enough. I think that's right. Like that. This is darker. It's all a mistake. Okay, this color's here. Kind of. And I think in the shadows, there's these reflections. Like that. I need to make it darker. See, once you put something down, you're like, oh, that needs to be darker. Okay, burnt umber. That's a pretty common color usage. Burnt umber. And I'm going to go cobalt. And then I think that's going to be, yes, that's it right there. That's coming down. It's coming over. There we go. This whole area is this color. Whew, I'm glad I found the color. Oh my gosh, I was like struggling. I'm just sitting there going, what is that color? The drama. Drama unfolding. Drama unfolding, people. That edge is darker. What's our time like? Dang it. 10 minutes? That's it. Dang. All right. So that's as far as I got, everybody. Hopefully that helped. If your rag's saturated with paint, mine, I can still use it. Then you can throw the rag away. Go ahead and wash your brushes out. Don't leave them by the sink. I know there's brushes by the sink, but don't leave any there. Here we go. Because I got a red ground on mine. I'm just using a board here. I'm gonna put this doll in, this ceramic doll. So that's the top, that's the bottom. Here's the head, I think. And the cool thing too about doing this is you shouldn't be holding your brush like this, because we're not writing. We're not writing, okay, with a pencil, because this is a writing stance. Okay, the purpose of these brushes is that you hold it back here. Trust me, it helps. And you can hold it back here. You can also hold the brush like this, okay? So you can drag that paint along like that and along like that. But for sketching out, I'm back here like this. Okay. And also if it's vertical, you can see what you're doing. You're like back away from it. You shouldn't be up like all close like this, like working on your painting. You should be back at a certain distance so you can see what you're doing and what's going on. Okay, so let's put this in here. Okay. All right, let's just sketch that in. There's that hand. This is coming down. And I'm just like, right now I'm guessing at the right proportions. I think they're right. So I'm gonna check the width of the head, right? And I'm gonna count down how many bodies tall it is. So I'm gonna go, actually I'm gonna check the height of the head. I'm gonna check the height of the head. And out there, I'm gonna check the height of the head and I go 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So I need to go like this. So that's 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, cool. We're good. So that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. You could even get a board next door if you want. One of these. I'd probably just do that because there's already some primed, and there's a couple boards over there that you can use, those bigger ones that are primed. Okay, so we're going down here. And that's going like that. That's going down. You don't need a really tight sketch when you're doing these. You can see how just simple my drawing is. I'm refining it because what at the end of this, what's going to matter is the shapes that we put down. Okay. All right, and then next to her is this shape. So I've established that, and then I got this shape coming down. Some more paint. Get some medium on there. There we go. Medium's helping it to flow. Okay. And then right here, there's a little fence thing. Okay, and then the bird's like right here. And it's not even a bird, it's just two little like oval things like that. And then we got, why am I having you guys paint stuff? Practice, yeah. What are you practicing for? Huh? Later, yeah. Yeah, later. Like whatever it is you want to do. Exactly. Like, I don't know what you're going to do later. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to do later. Later, you may become a mathematician. I don't know. Or a scientist, or, you know, but one thing that you can always do, and one thing you can always be, is an artist. You know, like we are many things in life. So one of them can always be an artist. Okay, handle's coming out. And then I'm going to go. Yeah. So, you know, maybe you'll be a graffiti artist. Maybe you'll be a muralist. Maybe you'll be maybe you'll paint still lifes for a living and sell them. It's all how you market yourself. There's that foot. Maybe you'll be an art teacher. Maybe you'll be a college professor, college art teacher. Maybe you'll be a graphic designer. Maybe you'll own your own business. I don't know. But yeah, there's always later, right? Getting some medium there, mixing it in. And then, so I'm advising you guys to paint the darks first. There's lots of mediums. There are lots of medium values up there. There are lots of dark values up there. Okay, there's very few light values. Okay. So this goes all the way out here. It's really skinny. There's that hole, right? Oh no, that hole's over here. That hole's over there. How do I know that hole's over here? How do I know that? Well, if I draw an imaginary line coming up, that's where that hole is. And then here's the grapes and the apple, that thing, like that. Okay. And then here's this thing coming up like that. Okay, so that's good for now. This stuff, I just want to get you guys going over here. Yeah.
Where's the pen and ink?
In that cupboard, you want to get one of those little things of ink and you want to shake it up, okay? Because the sediment's going to go to the bottom, so you want to give it a good shake. Make sure the lid's on first, and the dip pen is in that metal canister that's right there. Yeah. And then there's a big dip pen, and there's also a small croqual, it's called, and it's in the other canister, and they're hidden. They're like so short that they're inside there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, those are, and so anyway, they're all legit. Okay, so now we want to paint our dark values. Okay, how do you know? First thing you go, okay, it's a dark value. What temperature is it? Is it warm or is it cool? Okay, so what are our warm options? What are our warm options? Red or orange or yellow. Okay. What are our cool options? Blue or purple or green. Okay. So I'm going to start painting these dark values. And when I say dark, I'm going the darkest. So what I'm going to do first is got the medium. Look up here. Check it out. So we got the medium. I'm just going to scoop that just like that. Wait, and kind of go back and forth like this so it stops dripping. And I'm going to go right here and I'm going to get that burnt umber because that's a neutral. I know that I want a neutral. And then that is going to be a cool. I'm going to get ultramarine blue. I'm going to mix that up right there. Look how dark that is. There's lots of darks on here, but look how dark that is. That's my quote black. Okay, so right here, and what I'm doing is this. Check it out. Look at me. Look up at me. When I'm seated down, I'm like this, right? And I'm like this for stability. Or you can have your thing on the edge of the table, right? So I'm like this. I'm gonna put this dark shape in. And then once I put that down, I'm asking myself, is that the right shape? Is that the right value? And is that the right temperature? And I'm going to tell myself, yes, I think that is. And look, I make that stroke and then I look up. You see how small it is? I'm just going to zoom into this. I'm going to get closer in this area right here. And I get close. I go like this. And I stop and I look up. And then I go like this. Watch. and I look up. So every stroke or every 1 to 3 strokes, I'm looking up at what I'm painting. I'm making sure that I'm placing these things in the right spot. Making sure that they're the right color, temperature, value, dark, dark, dark values first. Okay, so this comes over. That's coming all the way over here to that bottle. And then that's coming down. That bottle kind of disappears. And this whole area is that dark value. What are we trying to do here? What are we attempting to do? What's one of the things that we're attempting to do? Well, one of the things that we're attempting to do is we're trying to portray not necessarily a photorealistic thing. Okay, we're interpreting what's up there in a way. What we're trying to do is we're trying to portray, we're trying to communicate the sense of light hitting these objects. Okay, so how as a painter or a drawer are you going to convey light? How are you going to communicate light? Huh? Shadows, exactly. So we gotta have shadows. And so the first thing we're doing is what I'm doing, and what you should be doing right now is what I'm doing. You should be putting in the darkest darks first. And what's that going to do? Well, it's going to make things pop. See that? Like this area is starting to pop. This thing right here, that's popping forward already because I have a dark value behind it. Right? So for those of you that are have light values in there already, stop. Just stop doing that. But you're free. You're free to choose what you want to choose, but I advise you to stop and to put in those really dark values. Like right there and right there. And I got a dark, dark value like right there. And then right here, I got a really dark value right there. And there's no reason to rush. You know, we're just plugging along. Okay, where else is there a dark value? I'm gonna go CAD red in this. And this right there is darker. And that down there is darker. Okay, this bear is an orange. So I'm gonna go some CAD red. I'm gonna go some yellow ochre, and that might be too light. I'm gonna go medium. What color is the light that's hitting the objects? That light that's shining down on the still life, what color is that light? What color is that light? And look, even midway, look, I'm going like that. I stop, my brush is still touching, coming down. What color is the light that's hitting the objects? What color is the light that's hitting the objects? If you glance up at it really quick, what color is that? What color white? And yellow and orangish. White, yellow, orange. Not white, orange. Not white, red, yellow. Or not white, red, orange. It's white, yellow, orange. Okay. What color is the sun at noonday? White. Also at noonday, when the sun's going straight up, it's not just white. It's going to have a hint of what, possibly? No. Blue. Why? The sky is blue. As the sun comes up, what do we got? What color is it as it's coming up? It's like, yeah, like red, red, orange, yellow, right? And then as it sets, it's that color, right? So it changes. Cool, huh? All right, so I got to go darker again. I'm going to add some ultramarine blue to this. I'm going to add, because this needs to be darker. Yes, sir. Now look, check this out right here. Morning. Check this out. Don't overblend. So the oil paint blends itself. Watch. We go like this. Boom. 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 Okay. That's it. Now you could go, I'm going to come out like here, and that's it. Just leave it. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't like go like that, and then don't do like this and go over blend. Okay. Don't over blend. Just do as few brush strokes as you can to communicate the sense of light. In my opinion, you know, like it's all just what I think, you know, like, okay, a little bit more red in there. I'm trying to get this bear looks red in some places. It looks orange in some places. It looks greenish in some places. So all right. Now, behind the bear is even darker. So I got to go back. I got to put this dark orange in though. So I'm going to go yellow ochre, cad red. That should be this color. That little nose piece, which is a triangle basically. Nope, that's not it. It needs to be more red. More red. There we go. Now behind that, it's even darker. So I got to go dark. Now this time I'm going to go phthalo green just because so I have a variety, but I'm going to go phthalo green. I'm going to go burnt umber. And then once again, I'm going to dip my brush in the drying medium. Wait for it to stop dripping there. Kind of going back and forth. And phthalo green and burnt umber. I think that I might need some blue. I'm going to get some ultramarine blue in there too. Now watch this. Right up against that edge. And that's going up like that. Now, You might want to try this. Look, I'm going to go like this and get some ultramarine blue. And I'm going to go, because I kind of know that I need it here. So I'm just going to mix straight on the board. So I'm going straight from here to there, just grabbing that paint, going straight into there. But most of my mixing is going to be done on the palette. Okay, so I got that. And there's like this chair here, but I'm not looking at it as a chair. I'm looking at it as a shape. All right, let's go to the doll. So I'm gonna get as far as I can with that doll. I've pretty much established the dark values around the statue or that doll. Okay, I got to put this in. And you may come in and something's not exactly where it should be or whatever. So that's just you know, just got to deal with that. Okay, so that's dark right there. Cool. Now, you want to change the color. This is what you do. You guys got your rag, right? You want to change the color. Look, you put your brush on the rag, you pinch that, and you pull. Okay. Now I have a little bit. If I want to get more of that color out, I can pinch that, and then I can pull. Okay. So let's do this now. So I want to do that blue, and I want to do the dark blues in here, the shadows, the cast shadows on this. So I got to mix a neutral blue. So how do we mix a neutral blue? I'm going to get this cobalt blue. I think it's cobalt that we're going to be using. So how do we mix a neutral blue? You could put a tan in there, but what's the opposite of blue on the color wheel? Orange. Orange, okay? So, no, that's good though, but you could do a tan. That might work. Because the tan could have the elements of orange in it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go blue. I'm going to go red, and I'm going to go cad yellow. Okay, so that's way too green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go to another puddle right here. Way too green. More blue. I think I need, okay, so if it's too green, I got to put some more red in there. More red. But I want it blue. Here's my blue gray over here already. So I'm going to go blue into that blue gray that I already mixed earlier today. And I'm going to put that down right here. I got a little bit of green in it, but I'm just going to deal with that. We'll see what happens. So here's this dark cast shadow shape. Now watch this. This shape does this. More blue. A touch of white. Get some medium on there. Okay. Like that. All right, so well, that kind of shifts to green. I can go back and add more, but this cast shadow does this. It goes like this, and then it goes down, and it goes over, and it goes down. So then I fill that area in with this color. And the cool thing is we can always go back and add something else to it. Okay, so where else? Then we go, okay, where else is that color? This color that I'm using right now, where else is it? Is it somewhere else? And then we go, okay, I think that color's down here. It's like down here. And that color is this arm right here. And watch, we're gonna go right up against that teddy bear. I'm gonna get a touch more white, just a touch. That's too white. Okay, and that's wrapping around. And that goes here. And that goes there. Gotta load up my brush. That goes there. Gotta mix more. So I gotta mix more. I'm gonna go cobalt, white. And it's already mixing with these other colors, these other neutral colors that are there. So I think I'm good. Now, what I'm noticing as I'm painting is this value is not the exact color that I need. Oh, let me back up. Okay. So I gotta back up more. There we go. Right. I think that's it right there. Okay. So over here, I'm gonna have to shift some of this. That's straight across. When I say I have to shift some of this, that means I'm gonna have to shift it to light. I'm gonna have to shift it warmer or cooler. Like that needs to have some of that orange in it. This right here that I just put down, that needs to have some of that yellow orange color. And see, I'm not blending this. I'm just putting the paint down, going back, putting more paint down. I'm not like over blending it. Okay, watch. I go like this and I go, okay, this area needs to be lighter. So I go like that. There's one stroke. There's another stroke. And then I flip the brush around and I press and I do a short stroke like that. And then I go, shoot, I got to get a dark value. And I got to get that orangeness. I got to warm this up. So how do I warm that up? Well, let's get a little bit of this orange right here. You see that one? I'm going to get a little touch of that warmth. And I'm going to put it over here. And then I'm going to get a little touch of white. I'm going to put it over here and get a little bit more orange and put it over there and warm that blue up. And then get some of this, some of the medium. Now let's see how that looks. Yes, that's it. That's closer anyway. Oh, by the way, someone's sitting there. So you're gonna have to move. Just let you know. I don't want you to be surprised. Okay. Just throwing that out there. Okay. And then we're gonna go over here. That's too light. So let's bring that down. Okay, so this slider value that I'm putting here, right? So see how that works? We go dark to medium to light. Okay, so I have this lighter blue gray and it shifts, but I'm gonna put it right here, right up against that edge. that's wrapping around the figure. And this is kind of flaring out. How much time we got? 30 minutes, 38, 35. I'm not in charge. I'm at 40,
No,
30. Okay. Isn't it cool to see what happens when like the color shifts on the palette and you take it and you put it up there and just to like see what happens? That's lighter. And then I got a wrinkle right there, fold. I'm gonna get a little bit of white, a little bit of cobalt. Get some warmth in there. I'm just looking at these little shapes, these little subtleties, like that's pulling up. That's pulling up like that. That's pulling down. This is coming up. Reload the brush. That's lighter, that's lighter. I got to get that hand in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit lighter here. Because this is a really bright ceramic. So I want to talk about highlights for a second. Highlights, I usually go like this. Start with white. And I'm gonna get this a touch of yellow and literally just a touch of this cad red because that is the color of the light. You see that little tiny patch right there? And it was barely touching that. And that's going to be my highlight or my hot spot. The lightest of the light of the light. And I'm just going to very strategically go. Hopefully. Right there. Right there, that little spot. But my brush is kind of big, so I got to be careful. And then I have one right there. There's one right there. There. And these are a little big because my brush is big, but it's cool. You see a little tiny hot spot. I'm gonna take the back of my brush. I'm gonna try and like blend that in a bit. Let's see what happens. No. Okay. I should have got a little brush for that, but there. Okay. Let's work on that face. So you see, you start with the darks, you go to the mediums, then you get lighter and lighter and lighter, progressively slower. Okay, this face is orange, an orange gray. It's a very warm gray. So I'm just gonna gently not squish it too tight, but gently just a gentle drag, or sometimes you can just brush the paint on the fabric and you'll be good. So now I want to put the darks in of that. It's a warm, but it's still medium. It's still medium. I could probably use the red as the medium value for the face. So I'm going to try that. So I'm just going to paint in the light values on this face here. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do that. I'm going to leave the red. I'm going to use the red as the medium value. So let's see if that works. I think it'll work. Okay. So I got to go white. And I kind of already have this beigey tan. And what is beige? Beige is yellow and red. It's an orange. Okay. Oh, it stopped. Okay, there we go. So that's too bright. So that's an orange. How do we kill orange? How to reduce the intensity of orange? Blue. So I'm gonna go to cobalt. I could do cobalt or ultramarine. I'm gonna choose cobalt and see if that works. I think this might be the color that I'm looking for. So let's try and make that, and I'm gonna get a little bit of medium. Let's try and make this look like a face. So I'm gonna look at the light shape. Okay, look at this light shape. And this light shape, okay, it needs to be a little bit bluer. I'm at a little bit of blue, cobalt. Down here, it doesn't look right, but hopefully it's right. Hey, where are you going? We're in here. We're in here. Yeah. We're here. You can go walk outside for a minute, like 3 minutes if you want. But we're in here. We're working the whole time, man. We're just hanging out, mixing paint, putting it on a surface, acting like we know what's going on, you know, playing the game. But yeah, we're not in there. Okay, it needs to be warmer. So I'm gonna go a little bit of yellow ochre and just a touch of red. Okay, let's do that hair. So it's just a shape. Okay, let's do that. Cheek. Okay, this is gonna get hard. This big brush. It's gonna get hard. See, that needs to be darker right there. Oh, we got a little bit of the cheek over there. Nose comes up. Yeah, it's not really working. I was trying to use the red, but that's not really working. I need a slightly darker value or not as intense color as that red. So we'll try this. We'll mix it into this brown. That might be the answer. I think that might be it. So like deciding. Here's the bottom of the nose. There's that mouth. There's that cheek. Cheek. I need to go back to that lighter one, get back to that lighter value. Fine tune that. Starting to look like a face kind of, right? Okay. All right, darker value. I need to go darker even. Let's go right here into this and let's get a little bit of that. That might be too dark. Little core shadow. Upper lip. Core shadow on the cheek. Hair coming down. It's starting to look like a face, right? See? Starting to look like a face. All right. And then we're going to go. Can't get the palette in there, so. All right, what we do need in there is really dark value. So I'm gonna go or a darker value, substantially darker. Ultramarine. Yeah. Right here. Taking your time. Going around. There. There. Reinforcing this line. Some blue. See, I don't know what's going on there, so I gotta kind of All right, so we don't want to have outlines, people. No outlines. Look at this right here. So I have a line, but I'm not going around the whole thing because it doesn't need it. Okay, we have an edge next to an edge. Look, I got this value next to this value. No outlines. So we're not doing this. We're not going, okay, here's this thing. Now you can do that on your own time, but we're not outlining things. Can you have a line? Yes, but no outlines. Okay, does that make sense? Stay away from outlines. Okay, here's a dark shape now. We need to go even darker. How are we on time? 20 minutes, okay. We'll go like, We'll go like 8 more minutes and then we'll clean up. Okay, now I gotta go. Oh shoot, I tripped, dumped it over. Cool, got a rag. Made a mess. Get the rag, soak it up. Soak it up. We're not cleaning up yet. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you put those paints, like, I want warm and cool. So, does that help, guys? What I'm showing you, you know, that makes sense, you know, no outline. We want warm and cool together, so we want, this is cool, blue's cool, green's cool, that's warm. These are all warm. The brown, the yellow, that goes in there. These are all warm, and then these are all cool. Put that on top of that, and then put those covered over there. Thanks. Yeah. There you go, dude. Yeah. Huh? No. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but this you want a long handle brush first. Let me pause for a second. Where's it go? Down. Open that. Open the door. He pauses.